Hello, everybody. This is TJ Neku with my trusty friend Mello. And today I want to tell you about my experience of having my first table at a convention. And I want to get started with the fact that technically this was not my first table booth at a convention. I have done it before. I'm not scamming you guys. I just don't count the first time because the first time around I was like 15 years old, and in no way did I prepare as much as I did for this instance, though I guess it added to my experience a little bit. But this I count as the first time of me doing it officially, as I am now a 21-year-old. So I didn't do this convention alone. I actually had some help from a self-made Berlin-based art collective called Chimera Arts. They are some very nice art colleagues that I know from my art school time, and they frequent a lot of Berlin-based anime conventions, and they do things such as sticker areas and workshops in different conventions. I'm gonna link them below. They've been a great help during this entire process. So now it is actually 2 days after the convention. I am really exhausted, which you may be able to tell. I took a shower today, so I feel pretty great, but I was pretty stinky for 2 or so days. So let's get started with my thoughts before the convention. Actually, there was a lot of stress involved from the start because at first, I wanted a certain friend to help me out for the weekend, but they turned me down later on because, understandably, I guess it was just too much for them. But I found another friend pretty soon. The tabling fees, or the overall fees, and my share of the area was pretty expensive. It was 200 euros that I had to pay to table for 2 days. Usually, conventions last from Friday to Sunday, but on the Friday, the convention was basically only open for a concert in the evening, and we started setting up our tables during that day. So there was only 2 days of actually selling my art at the event, which sounded pretty daunting to me, to be honest, because 200 bucks is quite a lot, and that doesn't even include the production cost. So yeah, 200 bucks, that sounded like a lot. I was really anxious about it because, I still had to get everything done. I had to plan out the designs and stuff. So what did I do to kind of figure this thing out? I made a chart on my tablet using Freeform. It's like a digital whiteboard where I just gathered all my ideas. For example, the kinds of products I wanted to sell, tips from other convention artists on YouTube. I will try and link those down below as well. I also included the deadlines at which I needed to get everything done, and I included a general to-do list. That one just kept piling on as I went, but it's always like you gotta figure out the big stuff first. Go from the big stuff to the small stuff, as you would with a painting. Go from the large shapes to the small details in the end. I started kind of drawing most of my designs. I planned them out beforehand, but I actually started drawing them maybe 1.5 or maybe 2 months before. I wanted to sell sticker designs, and my plan of action was to take the sticker designs, mostly in a chibi style, a very cute chibi style, and convert them into different types of products. So I would have stickers, I could make postcards from them, and small art prints. I actually ended up ordering acrylic keychains, which was also my first experience communicating with a manufacturer. Oh, and I printed A4 prints. But my main selling thing was like keychains, stickers, prints, and postcards. Like, I have no data on what kind of stock would have been enough, what to stock, and everything. I had to figure that out as I went. During 1 week of my convention preparations, I actually ended up drawing, planning, and doing other stuff just related to the convention, and I tracked every hour of it. And in that 1 week, it was like close to 40 hours of work just during that week, and that was just the convention stuff. I admit I pressured myself to get things done, but it doesn't include like my part-time job or anything. That was just solely drawing just drawing, so, and other art in between, I guess, to kind of take my mind off of things. But yeah, that was a lot, and I actually just took a week off after that because that is unhealthy. That is an unhealthy amount of work next to a part-time job. You live, you learn. What I did to actually speed up my process of drawing all these designs to get them done in time, I actually picked up a technique from a YouTube video that showed up on my homepage. If I find it, I'll link it down below. It was about using the Clip Studio border layer feature to skip the line art process entirely. I hate line art, so I did that, and actually I got most of my chibi artworks done in around 3 hours average per design, which is pretty good. It includes color, shading, and it actually excludes the sketching part because I did that on my iPad. It actually took a huge chunk of time out of it, which worked out pretty well for me because line art is annoying, and once you have the line set, it is pretty rigid, and I actually enjoy the process of drawing up all the layers, which would actually be pretty good for animating emotes as well. So the week before the convention was still pretty full. I went over to my buddies at Chimera to get a bunch of stickers printed at their place because I don't have a plotter or like a cutting machine for stickers. My printer is an office printer. It is pretty shitty. I could pretty much just print like the very basic things with it. And now it's also been acting up, so I don't know. I'll deal with that later. And I went over to their place like on two separate occasions to get things printed, to get my postcards printed. I ordered blank postcard cardboard backings with the stamp printed on the back, and then I just printed out postcard designs for each on an A4 sheet and then cut them out and printed them on the thing because I figured out that printing on the postcard directly made the quality look kind of shitty because it was a matte surface. It ended up looking much better with a glossy surface instead, so we went with that. I tried to keep my costs relatively low, so I went over to like a specific printing shop in my city that had a lot cheaper prices than the one I'm used to, but they didn't have the right papers and stuff. You know, I ran into a lot of trouble along the way, but we actually managed. Overall, my production costs came to be around 123 euros, which included around 86 bucks for producing keychains, around 30-ish bucks for display stuff for my prints, a little plastic display for stickers, the actual sticker paper that I ordered, printing paper that I ordered, and then another 10 bucks for postcards, and then my boyfriend Paul actually donated 20 bucks for the good cause as well, so I excluded that from the overall price. Then the printing cost me around like 13 euros. I printed 20 pieces of very thick prints on A4 format. I wanted to print the postcards there as well, but they didn't have the right paper for it, so I just ended up printing around 10 sheets of my own business cards as well. I have ordering business cards. I had these nuts. These template, you print them out and then you fold along the edges and then you can just like plop them out. They're already pre-cut, which saved me a lot of money because I didn't actually have to buy them. I found them while cleaning out my old room at my parents' place. So thanks, Mom. It was honestly pretty daunting for me to even reach that threshold because the 200 bucks, I didn't have that much money to like pay up front, and I also still had like the production costs in front of me. 300 something bucks of loss basically I had to account for. I guess I got a little bit over my head because of that. Friday rolls around, the day where we start setting everything up. I admit that communication between me and my friends at Chimera was a little bit stressful because we were all trying to figure out our table setup and it was a little bit chaotic. It was expected, honestly. I think we were all just a little bit on edge trying to make it all cohesive because we had basically one big table around near the entrance of the convention around a corner, and we the concept was for us to be like one big table and have our products lined up nicely and visibly. And they also had a lot of products and an extra sticker area, which we had to pay for because usually conventions let us have, or let Chimera have, the sticker area for free because it is for the guests, like a free kind of workshop thing almost, where they can make free stickers and they can make their own buttons and magnetic bookmarks. This time as well, they do like a deal where they make these little goodie bags for like the helpers at the convention. But this convention was like, nah, $600 for all of it, which is why my portion of it is also so expensive, relatively expensive. I heard that the artists in another room paid around $40 for the tabling fees, which it is what it is. We had a couple arguments. Well, it wasn't like anything crazy, but trying to figure things out. We didn't know when we could actually start setting everything up. 3 to 4 p.m. I started packing. I just ate some good tomato soup. So my friend came over. Shout out to Jay/Yoha. And so we left the house around 4 p.m. The convention center, or the place where the convention took place, actually took an hour away from where I live. So pretty far, like an hour, 20 minutes. Oh yeah, maybe this would be the time to mention that I was tabling at MMC Berlin 2025. But yeah, we got there. It was a bit stressful. We set everything up. We got there at around 5 p.m. and we left at around 11 p.m. It took like 6 or more hours to set everything up. I was really exhausted when I got home, and I was worried about the tabling fees. Was worried about if my portion of the table, if it looked good enough, if I had enough stuff set up, if I was prepared enough. I was worried about the stuff I still had to prepare. Like I wanted to have a catalog for my stuff, which ended up being kind of unnecessary because I didn't have that many different products to begin with. I was also worried about doing karaoke, which is a different topic, I guess. When I got home late, I was like, I knew I had to sleep. Like I had to sleep early because I would have to get up at 8 a.m. and I am not someone who manages to wake up early very well. I also have a bit of time blindness, so in the morning I have a very hard time to actually leave the house on time and get everything done in time. I got home at midnight and I still had to get stuff done. Like I had to hang up my outfit for the next day, print the catalog. It was a shit show. So I go to bed at around 1 a.m. My mind it wouldn't shut off. I was just spiraling deeper and deeper. I was like so worried, and all of the accumulated stress with like the preparation, me being out and about every day in the week prior to the convention, trying to figure everything out, get everything done in time, the little conflicts that I had with the others while setting things up, the stress that accumulated, it seeped into my brain. I couldn't stop thinking about it. Then I had a bit of a mental breakdown, which Paul managed to calm me down, but this is the reality of things, I guess. The stress actually did get to me quite a bit, and I guess I was just doubting myself a lot. And then when I stopped worrying about the table fees, when I actually calmed down and my boyfriend helped me calm down a bit, I started worrying about karaoke because I really wanted to do karaoke. I love singing, I love karaoke, but singing in front of other people is kind of a difficult thing for me. I ended up doing it, but my brain was just like, oh yeah, let's overthink about karaoke now and which song I could sing. My body would just start pumping adrenaline. I started my period on Friday as well, so I was in pain. It was a full moon. I was really stressed. I was overthinking, and then also overthinking about karaoke for some reason, which ended up with me being awake until 4 a.m. and I had to get up at 8 a.m. and leave the house at 9 a.m. So it's safe to say that I didn't arrive at 10 a.m. I arrived maybe at 10:30 or 10:40-ish because I also forgot to take my prints. I didn't end up selling any of them, but I have these hand-carved linoleum prints of a huge ramen bowl exploding with soup, and there's like fingers and teeth and eyeballs splattering around in there. It's not necessarily gory, but it's like monochromatic and actually really nice print, but I guess people on conventions aren't really there to buy big prints like these. Like if anybody's interested, like hit me up because they're limited. I only have 10 of them, selling them for around 30-ish bucks. So like I don't know. I would actually be curious if I managed to sell like any of these. at a next event or something. It would be nice. After my little mental anguish that I experienced during that Friday night, I got ready in the morning. I really tried my best. I was running on 4-ish hours of sleep. If I'm being generous, it's 4 hours, which is not a great start for the busiest day of the convention weekend. But yeah, I managed. I had a bit of a lunch packed by my boyfriend. Shout out to Paul. So I got there. I was already a bit sensitive. I was ready to start crying again, but I was I communicated my boundaries. I was let me just arrive first. Saturday was definitely the most eventful day out of all of them. I got to see a lot of really, really cool cosplayers. I interacted a lot with people that came by our table, and with each and every encounter, I was observing and trying to figure out what kind of people like being approached openly. Some people are really shy, some people don't really want to be spoken to, and it was when one of them went away or something because I came off too strong or whatever, I was dang it, another one got away. I was just trying to see how to approach people in the best way, or how to seem friendly enough for people to be comfortable to approach me. But generally, I was really open to having conversation and connecting with people and hearing feedback and everything. But what was weird for the day was that I really couldn't eat. For the entire day, I really didn't feel that hungry. I guess it was a mixture of the adrenaline, and at the convention, they had these Y food drinkable meal milkshake things that they handed out to the visitors, not to the vendors, just the visitors. I ended up getting some anyway. I had some of that. It just kind of made me feel like I didn't want to eat, I guess. Since I was so stressed about the table fees, let's address that first. Because I actually made my table fees back very quickly, within 6 hours of me being there. So around 4 p.m., I made my table fees back. I started tearing up. I was crying out of relief because that was the most stressful thing about it. And I was okay, this is what I wanted to reach. Everything above this is extra. Of course, I still had to make back my production fees and whatever. At that point, I just felt really, really proud, really relieved. I felt like all of the work I have been putting in actually brought me to this little success that I got there at that weekend. A lot of weight was off my shoulders. I was really, really happy. I was so relieved. After that, it was a lot more relaxed for me personally. Aside of sitting around at my table, we walked around the convention a little bit. I chatted up a couple other artists who were tabling. It was kind of hard to find some of the areas. On Sunday, I actually discovered that there's a whole hall of vendors and artists just there that I completely missed on the first day. Another thing that I did to earn a little bit of extra cash was I offered commissions in a chibi style, similar to the sticker designs that I did. And one cosplayer, they commissioned me for their cosplay, which was their own iteration of the King in Yellow, and it was a really cool cosplay. That commission I did for around $30, around 2 hours. I did it digitally because I requested it digitally, but I would have done it on postcards instead. I took some time to post a little bit on social media because I had no time whatsoever to do any of that prior to the convention, so I just did it while I had some free time at my table. I was still worried about the karaoke thing, but Saturday was so full that I didn't get to do karaoke on that day anyway. There was an 18 plus area that I took a little stroll at. I gotta say, the setup was not ideal for what it was because it felt really cramped. It felt really, really cramped. You turn around, there's a penis, and you're I guess you would expect that if you walk into the 18 plus area. Welcome back. It is now day 2 of me trying to record this video. Moving forward, my mom actually came to visit me at my stall, and that was pretty nice. And she brought a friend, and her friend bought a couple keychains and prints and stickers. Pretty sweet. I feel supported. My mom walked around there for a bit, and she really wanted some beer, which apparently there was a bar, which I found out later on. I did not know that at the time, so sadly, my mom did not get her 5 p.m. beer. The Saturday pretty much calmed down towards the evening. People were gathering at the big stage. People were walking around, leaving slowly but surely. And then we stayed pretty late. We stayed until the end, which was around 10 p.m., at which we then started packing everything up. And then I hung around outside a little bit. I chatted some people up. I saw some really, really cool cosplays. Amazing cosplays, honestly. Then I walked home. I was so exhausted. That was pretty much when my exhaustion caught up to me. It took me an hour to get home, of course. When I got home, I still wasn't hungry, which was really crazy. And when I actually started eating, I remembered that it actually feels good to eat something. I just forgot that that's a thing, basically. I ate something. I cleaned myself as best as I could. I prepared my outfit for Sunday, and then I fell asleep pretty fast. Before we move on to my conclusions and a little bit of math, I hate math, and the hours and the statistics of things, let's go over the Sunday real quick. It was a lot more relaxed overall. Like, there were less people. I was still pretty tired in the morning, but I actually got like 7 solid hours of sleep, which is very good. And I left the house in time. I had some breakfast with me. I had a commission to finish that day. I had my day cut out for me, basically. There were some cosplayers that I met on Saturday stopped by again to show me their Sunday cosplays, which was really, really fun. Actually, one of my community members from my Discord server that I had met on a previous convention that I attended came by, which made me really, really happy to be interacting with someone who was also part of my Discord community. And we actually ended up singing karaoke together, and I did one song first, which I was very, very nervous about. Like, it kind of triggered some kind of performance anxiety in me, and it like pumped adrenaline into my body, but I actually managed to do it. And then I sang another song with my community member, and I'm glad I did that, because after I did the karaoke, the stress of that also subsided, even though I was really shaky during it. I did a little bit of a shopping tour as well. I will do a haul towards the end of the video. I hung around with someone I used to know from high school who I happened to meet there, which was very interesting. It's like you kind of forget that once you lose track of someone, they don't just stay the way that you remember them. They also grow into different stages in their lives and into different kinds of people. Basically, at around 6 p.m., gates were being closed, people were being ushered out. We started packing everything up. My part of the stall was pretty fast. We were pretty efficient. At that point, I was so exhausted. Like, I felt like doing absolutely nothing anymore. I was just like so dead. I was so dead. By the time I was on my way home, the train station was straight up empty. I was the only person there. I kept hearing voices for some reason. In the back of my mind, it felt like I heard people like calling my name, which I don't know what was going on there, but that sounds pretty worrying. So, in terms of numbers, as I had mentioned previously, my overall cost of production came to be around 123 euro, and the tabling fees came to be around 200, which included food for the weekend organized by my friends at Chimera, and the tickets and the tabling fees. It was all included basically in that price. I made around 420-ish euros, which actually leaves me with some profit, which is actually very nice. I need to pat myself on the shoulder for that, because I feel like my effort was really worth it, and we had a really good position at the convention. I am thinking about whether it would be smarter to start manufacturing things more and actually do things with manufacturers instead, because my best sellers were my keychains. I ordered 30 keychains in total. I sold 20 keychains. I sold 8 single keychains for 12 euros each, and I sold 5 keychain bundles of 2 pieces each for 20 bucks. I sold 20 free stickers for 350 euros each. I sold free smaller stickers for 2 euro 50 each. I sold a single sticker sheet for 650. I sold 2 sticker sheet bundles for 12 euros each. I sold 2 single postcards for 5 euros each, and I sold 2 postcard bundles for 9 euros. I sold 2 prints for 10 euros each, 2 A4 art prints. I made 1 chibi commission, 30 euros, and I also sold another bundle, which included a keychain, stickers, 2 postcards, another keychain for 34 bucks. Best sellers were definitely the keychains. I still have 4 keychains left aside of the keychains that I'm keeping for myself because, the stickers sold very well, which is pretty nice because they're like a low effort kind of thing. It takes effort to design them, but getting them printed and everything, I did all of that myself. Pretty much everything I went to print and make myself. Even the postcards, I had to like hand glue them on. So with the time that I spent on everything, I wouldn't say it's the most sustainable. I would realistically have to price them higher since they're handmade, but then again, it's like, what person would like to spend more than €6 or something on a single sticker? The tracked hours of me drawing, preparing, organizing, planning, and doing everything else and working my ass off for this one event came to be around 81 hours, just the hours that I tracked for this, which is quite a lot. Consider that it happened all next to my part-time job and my video editing. That's crazy. And I can really recommend for you to track your hours with whatever kind of project you're working on, especially with stuff like commissions and whatnot, so you can gauge how much time you really spend on something. If you're also doing YouTube or videos, just track how much time it actually takes, because sometimes I lose myself in the task, or a lot of the time I felt like I was behind on things or I wasn't doing enough. And so by tracking my hours, I could actually see that I have been actively working and I have been making progress. It's fine. I did something and here's the proof of it. So if you struggle with something like that too, then I can really recommend that. My conclusion of this convention, starting off with the fact that I probably won't be doing this as a full-time or part-time thing. I love conventions, being at conventions. I love interacting with people there. I love helping out. But I realized just how much effort and work I had to put in for this 2-day vending thing, and how much stress I actually put on myself to deliver like a good setup and good products and whatnot. And I really enjoyed interacting with people. I don't see myself being able to do this sustainably, not in the same way that a lot of the artists I met do it, where they have their events lined up for the year and everything. I'm going to take it slow with stuff like that. I'm not really looking to do that very frequently. And maybe I'll be looking into something like an online shop instead. Overall, I did enjoy the weekend a lot. I think this is not the best convention in my city, but it is a good starting point, I'd wager. And I'm actually going to be at an event next month. On the 17th of May, I'll actually be at a 1-day event to try and see how I manage on my own as well. I would say I'd love to keep expanding my brand. And if I do this again, then I think that I should expand on my own ideas more, because the products that I was selling at MMC were pretty much just fan art. I did include my little mascot Mellow here as a freebie sticker for a €10 purchase. I don't know, I just did a lot of fan art for this event, which was kind of the easiest way for me to get started because I didn't have to think about designs. But I do think that some of my own artworks that I did include as prints did resonate with people, and I would like to push them more in future events and maybe have this little guy be more present in my product. Honestly, my dream is to have him as a plushie. That is like one of my all-time goals. So like, please subscribe so we can grow a community, so I can actually fund this, so we can make this happen, because I need him. I need him as a plushie. He is very cute, but I can't cuddle him. But yeah, I would like to expand on my own ideas basically and offer my own perspective, my own art, have a more unique spin on things. Technically everyone could be drawing fan art of something, but not everybody is going to have my ideas. They're mine to share with the world or to bring into the world. I'm sure that some people will actually resonate with that a little bit more. Like, I still have some stuff to learn, and I'll see how I can take this experience to improve my next next event next month. I guess I have some planning and some testing to do before I step out into the venue again. That pretty much summarizes my experience. It has now been 3 days since the convention, and I am really tired. Like, my body is still carrying this sort of exhaustion, and I have to work tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be able to get enough sleep. To give you a little something extra, let me just show you what I ended up buying at the event. My absolute highlight for this event is this beautiful Death Note art book that I got for 35 bucks, which is incredible. 35 bucks for this, originally priced at 60 euros, and I got it for 35 bucks because I guess they were closing down shop, and they were really nice. It was priced at 40, but they were like, okay, it's for you, it's 35 bucks. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. So it actually has like these little art prints in the front that you can switch out to display your art book in different ways. I'm not gonna go through this art book as a whole, of course, but it is really beautiful. I watched Death Note last year, actually. I held that off for a little bit. Here's the front of it. I like the artist a lot for the manga artworks and stuff, so there's like some really, really incredible artworks. I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll buy this artwork. You can see it. Very beautiful. I'm not sure which character this is. This is not Misa. This is a different character from like a different series. And what is really cool about this art book is that it has different textured pages. It has glossy pages, it has textured pages. It has prints that you can fold them out to reveal an even bigger artwork, which is incredible. I've not seen this in any other art book, the ones that I've owned. Overall, this is great value for an art book. I love using these as art references, so hopefully I'll get inspired by this amazing piece of art, because this book is a piece of art on its own. Other than that, I actually did not spend a lot of money. I actually didn't even spend my own money. I just spent a little bit of money that I got from my boyfriend, because he's such a nice boyfriend, and he was like, yeah, here's some money. And so not only did I make money, but I also didn't even spend my own money, which is honestly poggers. I got a little My Melody keychain that I can't show you because it's on my phone that I'm recording with. I'll leave a picture up here or something. Very cute. Oh yeah, look how cute this is. Yeah. So here are just two more really nice looking hair clips. And this one, this little charm was actually not included with this hairpin. I just added it to it. This was included with a package I got from my friend who went to Japan recently, and I'm so fucking jealous. It's like one of my life goals to go to Japan, but like I have no money. Please subscribe. Since I didn't find any cute plushies at the convention, look at this one. Very special, limited edition Sakura, My Sweet Piano, and it's so fucking cute. Okay, there's some OnlyFans creator postcards that I got from the 18+ area, which I'm not going to show you. On my trip to not spending any more money, I actually found something really, really cool. A Sonic Origins Plus fucking concept art book. I'm not like the biggest Sonic fan, but this is amazing. I love like art books and concept art, and it's got like character sheets and everything in it like this, and I just found this lying around for free. I of course collected some business cards, and I got some really nice stickers from the cosplayer that commissioned me. Yeah, overall, I made stonks, I would say, considering that I didn't spend a single penny basically. I gained a lot of experience, I gained some money, I lost a lot of sleep, and I lost a lot of nerves, but I guess I got my time's worth, honestly. I am happy to be able to share my experience with you guys, so if you enjoy my rambling or you want to support me with my future videos, I would appreciate for you to share your thoughts below. Have you ever done something like that or helped out at a convention? Do you enjoy going to conventions? If you have any questions, leave them down below as well. Please join my Discord server if you'd like to interact with me more. Like and subscribe so I can make this into a plushie one day. I'll be signing off for now. Thank you so much, everybody. My name is TJ Neku, and I'll see you in the next one.
I am placing blocks and shit cause I'm in fucking Minecraft.